affiliates? What is or rather I should say, how are we feeling as we're here, basically about 48 hours into this free agency legal tampering? The league year doesn't start till tomorrow officially. But yeah, we did pick up an offensive lineman, Cameron. We're gonna talk about that a little bit, man. We're gonna let it build up here and get some more people in here, man. Give it a like, give it a share. If you're over there on the YouTubes, definitely go ahead, hit that sub, the notification button. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, some are going to say, Spoony, that the Cowboys are, they're just doing their rigmarole. They're not doing nothing. However, there's 7 other teams. There's 7 other teams that haven't made one signing yet. So we're ahead of the curve. We're ahead of the curve, Spoon. We've had some signings, okay? We've had some signings, man.
We signed a Pro Bowler too.
Lethargic. Hey, that's right. We did sign a Pro Bowler, Spoon. We did sign a Pro Bowler. 3-time Pro Bowler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Oh, man. But with that being said, man, let's kind of get into it. Let's get to the press text. As always, drop your comments, questions, anything. We're going to get up here on the screen as we're talking about what's happened so far through free agency for the Dallas Cowboys and possibly maybe what we can kind of peek over the valley and see. Now, if you've been listening, your guy Nick said, hey, look, I think it's going to be different this free agency. I did it with tempered expectations. I said, hey, I don't think we're going to go crazy. I don't think we're going to sign like 2-3 guys, but I do think they're going to sign one guy that's going to be out of the norm from what we normally do. And those guys are still available. Yeah, is it Dalvin Tomlinson there? No, but there's still guys that are available that will sit, that will feel, that kind of splash, if you will. Oh man, yeah, we've been getting in on Twitter the past couple of days. And Parker, like I said, man, there's 7 teams that have not signed anybody. Mm-hmm. They have not signed anybody, so we're ahead of the curve there. As Spoody just alluded to, one guy's a 3-time Pro Bowler, long snapper, if you will. Malik Hooker's still on the board. Dennis Shelton just got cut. Adoree Jackson for me is one for sure. Sherman, I'm out on. And Peterson, I'm in the paint on that as well. But let's kind of get into it though, Spoon. Let's run down some of these guys. So out the door, right? Cam Irving's gone. Joe Thomas, linebacker, gone. Chidobe Awuzie to the Bengals. Andy Dalton, in case y'all didn't hear, Andy Dalton just signed a 10-year, a $10 million deal with the Chicago Bears. Who do we bring back? We bring back special teams ace C.J. Goodwin, cornerback, Antwaun Woods, defensive tackle, Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown at wide receiver. I mean, at this point, I do believe, unless we re-sign Xavier Woods, Noah Brown will be the only guy left from the 2017 draft. Ouch, that hurts, especially if we don't spend in free agency. But Spoony, back to what you said, we've added a couple of offensive linemen. Unfortunately, LP, the long-time long snapper, the last Dallas Cowboys player that actually played at Texas Stadium and AT&T Stadium, looks like he's not going to be back because we signed Jake McQuaid, Spoony.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and let you talk about Mr. McQuaid, sir.
Definitely got some good years behind LP. So you got youth. You got experience. You got a guy who recently went to the Pro Bowl. He went with the LA Rams. Right. So that's solid. That's definitely a solid move. Not a splashy move, but definitely something that's important. Long snapper. So
correct.
It's a good move.
Yeah, and again, of course, your time, ties that bind, if you will. Former player for Bones Fossil as our special teams coordinator. He is going to save money. LP would have cost him more money, so obviously, say a little bit of saving. And then we went out here and got a 35-year-old offensive tackle. He played for the Washington football team, played for the Buffalo Bills last year, in Ty Nsekhe.
Yes, I'll say this. 35 years old. That's when it comes to the age, that hits everybody. But the good thing is he's experienced. He's a swing tackle. He can play the left tackle or the right tackle spot. And we all know with the injuries he had last year on the offensive line that this was an important move. It's not a splashy move, but it's definitely a security move. We don't want to repeat what happened to us last season. So not a bad move at all.
Yes, and Nia, we do get a comp pick for Dalton. Early projections, 3rd, 4th rounder, crazy as that may sound for him. But yes, there's a projection there, depending on what happens over what we sign. There'll be a comp for all these guys as well. Cam Irving's going to be a comp, and so will Cheeto. Cheeto currently looks like he's coming in for the money he signed, about a 5th round comp, but we'll kind of let that play out.
Right.
You know. Hey, what's going on, guy? And here in London, checking in the building from across the pond. Gregory Davis checking in, saying, what about signing Pat Peterson? He's willing to move to free safety. Now, see, here it's going to get a little tricky right here because the word and what's going around right now is they have been in talks. Apparently, the Dallas Cowboys and Patrick Peterson have talked some. Dallas is for sure in on him being a free safety, but however, it seems like he might still want to play cornerback a little bit more than being said, Spoonie. For your take, corner or safety, are you in, or should the Cowboys only look at him to be a safety here?
I mean, I would definitely rather him at safety. That would be my thing, because we got Robinson. We may still pick a cornerback in this free agency market, and more likely we're going to draft a safety. So, with that being said, I would rather have him at safety, not corner.
Big facts. I mean, for me, I talked about Patrick Peterson coming in from the outset. I'm like, to me, it was one of those not either or signing.
Right.
Get him here at free safety. You got Coach Joe who helped. Who's your guy? Charles Woodson make that move over. But if you needed to play some corner for you, he could do that too. So we kind of wait and see, how that's going to pan out if they get that done. I also see Stewart. Yeah. Hey man. I mean, I would circle back to Harris and see. Looks like there's kind of a bit of a bidding war for Harris right now. So we know how that, fails for us. Adoree Jackson just became available too. We're talking about cornerbacks. Obviously, the Cowboys were very enamored with him during the draft process, and he was high, on their board. He's available now. Since moving to the outside in 2018, he's the 4th best cornerback in coverage. Now, people want to say, well, he's only got 2 interceptions, and maybe that scares you some. But I mean, Adoree Jackson, I would like to see Adoree Jackson come in here. They're going to have to add a cornerback for sure. Now, Jay Luke can be in the mix now since we moved on from Cheeto. But again, are they going to keep Jay Lou in the slot, right? So you're looking for that outside guy, so one of those things. How do you feel about Adoree Jackson possibly being?
Oh, listen, I love Adoree Jackson. First of all, to me, he's a special talent. He can play special teams if we need him to. Very good kickoff guy. When it all boils down to, he can make some key plays. He definitely can. He's 25 years old. What does it hurt? Now, again, when it comes to the scheme, we saw in 18 when Chris Shaw was here. Are they concerned with the height? About 5'10", 5'11". Do they want a guy who's 6 feet and above? That's the thing. But as far as talent, I like Adoree Jackson. And listen, to me, if we could pick him up, it's another talent that's secondary.
Of course, let's go and discuss another guy that was on a lot of people's list, Malcolm Brown from the Saints. Looked like he was going to get released. I actually had to talk with a couple of guys on Twitter earlier today, and I'm like, if they haven't released him yet, you might want to pick up the phone and say, hey, we'll give you a 7th or a 6th round pick for your trouble. Just send him on over here. And lo and behold, right before we came on, the Jacksonville Jaguars pulled a trade off, and Brown's headed over there. So scratch that guy off the list for defensive tackles for the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. Now we do have this. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the play. I did see somebody up here earlier. I think it was Jonathan. There has been some rumors about interest in Neal. If we're talking about one of those 2 guys from the former players for Dan Quinn over there in Atlanta, I think I'm with Kamikaze is where I'd be. Natural free safety. We know he had an injury last year. Neal and Wilson are too similar. I don't want to impede on Wilson's growth. And you bring in Kamikaze in here, you're still going to draft the guy right, be a good bridge gap kind of guy. So I'm definitely okay with the signing of Kazi. For me at this point, I am really, really. I've said it from the beginning and the outset of starting a free agency, and I'm sticking to my guns here on this, guys and ladies, that I want to fix the front 7. I want to get something on that line. I want to get something, maybe a linebacker even. I'm not against helping the back end. Though when I look at this draft the way it's set up, then what we need to do, hey, I'm tired of easy money. I'm tired of them saying easy money. But go ahead, Spoon. Between you, Neal and Kamikaze.
I mean, for me, I'll take either. I like Neal. They were saying that he could play some safety, but I do agree with you. Whatever, not to mess up Donovan Wilson's growth. Remember, Donovan Wilson will be up for a contract by next season. And the thing is, as I said the last show that I was on, was that when it comes to Stephen Jones, how he works, I don't envision them paying a high price for a free agent safety and then pay Donovan Wilson next year. What I do see is a bridge, somebody who can hold it down, but they're gonna draft themselves a rookie safety, which that makes sense. Now, whoever it is between Kazi or Neal, I'm on board with it. But still go out there and draft you another safety, hopefully in the second or third round next year's draft.
Yeah, and Stuart talking about Sue. I brought this up when I was on with the Big Game James and Boss Cowboys, and I'm like, man, at the end of the deal, let's just, hey, man, go get that assassin, right? Get him on a 1-year deal in here, and then you draft a guy, right? I mean, you go get that assassin for, depending on the cost, and get him in that middle. Bring some nasty to that line, right? He's going to bring some nasty to the line, and draft you a guy as well. So I'm definitely okay with the Sue, and I do agree with Mendoza here as he's backdooring. The Harris is a bridge gap kind of guy. He could be as well. I think he's a little bit more in the tank, but he could be at that bridge as well. Yeah, we talked about that before you came on here, Brandon. I mentioned that Danny Shelton also was released. So didn't have a great year last year, but overall his career, he's been very solid. He could definitely be in the mix. Tyron Church also checking in saying Neal's got interest from 5 other teams. Indeed. And again, I just don't personally, I mean, if they brought him in here, he's a body. I'm not mad at it, but I just think there's other guys out there for what this team needs right now is going to be better suited for this safety. That's just kind of where I'm at this moment. But I mean, those left available, Spoon. Do you have is there you got a little maybe a pet cat, if you will, that's out there still, or?
You know what? I won't say pet. I mean, there's a couple of guys. I like William Jackson.
Yeah, cornerback. Cornerback from the Bengals.
Yeah, I like him. That's definitely a need right there. Of course, with Dory Jackson. As far as Sue, you got Danny Shelton. Now, Danny Shelton, I was in love with a couple of years ago, and he's a solid run stuffer. That's exactly what we need. So I would definitely, for us, I'd like to get a look at him, for the right price. I believe Poona Ford is he? I believe he's available still. The DT from I think the Vikings. So when it all boils down to it, there's still solid guys out there. The guys that we see the Patriots going out there signing everybody. We don't need wide receivers. We don't need tight ends. We don't need none of that. Dalvin Tomlinson. That's the need that hurt me the most. That's what we needed. But now that he's not there, Jonathan Hankins, that's another guy we could definitely use his services. So there's still guys out there, and there may be some guys that may get released in the last minute, like a Dory Jackson. We didn't expect him to get cut out of nowhere. So there's still time.
Right. And I'm with you. Hankins is the guy that I actually listed on Twitter earlier. Bring a Hank. I mean, obviously that's going to help the run defense. So no, I'm not going. Eric Wilson, that's the guy that I know Mendoza is making the table about at linebacker. It's also available when I start talking about fixing this, front seven. So there's definitely, there's definitely guys. Again, the one reason I want to kind of hop on and do this is, the big things haven't come through the line yet. But there's definitely names. There's definitely not. Let me rephrase that. It's not just names. There's definitely solid, not bottom of the barrel people available that we can go out here and do and sign and get this thing, this run defense and whatnot done. The one thing I will say done so far in the first 2 days of free agency is I think our offensive line is depth-wise is very good now. I think we're set.
Yeah.
I think special teams is taken care of. Instead, you got your A spec. You've solved your long snapper. I think we have the punter in house. Then go let Chris Jones walk, save $2 million. And not to say that they won't go out here and draft somebody offensively, but I think as a set right now, you're good. The rest of this free agency class, to me, when I look at, and you got, and also you retained Cedric Wilson, you retained Noah Brown, so your wide receivers are set as well going into the draft. So at this point forward, I definitely know that they're going to go ahead and start making that move to me towards some defensive signings next 48 to 72 hours is kind of what I look like, what I look at here. Stuart will come and jump in here, says Super Bowl caliber offense, get the defense adequate. Right. Get them from 22, 23. Can we get them to 15? Can we do that with them? I got Brian, the bearded one. What's going on? Beard Gang, Star Gang in the building. Richard Sherman, look, man, and I'll say it. I've already said this once. I'll say it again. I'm cool on Richard Sherman. I just don't think he's got the speed anymore. It was a little ugly over there in San Francisco at times at points last year. But Spoony, how do you feel, Richard Sherman? Are you down for the signing to replace Cheeto going into the draft?
When it comes to Richard Sherman, I have mixed. Basically, his mouth, does it fit with Jerry? Especially if something's going wrong in Dallas, that's one thing. The other thing, like you mentioned, is speed. He doesn't have that speed no more. So I would be a no. But if we sign him, I'm not mad. I'm just like a wait and see thing.
And back to the Keanu Neal point is Cowboys, Jets, Lions, Vikings, Colts, and the Panthers per source. That's via
I like
Josine Anderson is
where
where they're at. Right. So that's on Neal and where his current situation is now.
I like our chances as far as the popular team. It's just the money. How much money the offer is different from the rest of them.
Yeah, and then of course, obviously Casey Hayward got released from the Chargers. I like more than him, but I would probably go him over Sherman. I believe. I think there's more than tank over Sherman. Spoony, Casey Hayward. How do you feel about him?
Hayward?
Yeah, Casey Hayward.
He's an older veteran guy. It won't be nothing wrong with that. 31 years old, he's solid. He's had solid years, but again, a guy like that will definitely be a bridge for what we're going to bring in at the draft. Again, what the Cowboys do is anybody they sign right now is not it's not guaranteed they're going to be the starter. That's basically the a camp body and a bridge. That's what it is. So if you're going to bring Casey Hayward, that's fine. That is fine.
Yeah. All right. Spoony, your confidence meter now on Jay Lou, right? We were kind of like Jay Lou's probably out of here. He wants to just go outside and start somewhere. Mm-hmm. Do you think the percentages of Jay Lou coming back now? Do you think those have went up?
That's tough. That is very tough. I like Jay Lou. We all like Jay Lou. We all felt that he's a dog. I'm gonna say no because it's early. Okay. I'm gonna say no. I believe that Dan Quinn's gonna bring in guys that he's worked with in the past, and that's it.
Right. I thought it was for sure out the door. I do wonder because they can't save money if they release Anthony Brown. They can't save money. I wonder if they're going to talk to Jay Lou like, "Hey, you'll be the slot guy here." Da 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 da. And then they make if Jay Lou signs, then that domino falls, and then maybe the Brown domino falls afterwards. If they don't sign him, then maybe Brown's going to be here at least through training camp and see what happens there. That's just kind of the sense and how I'm kind of feeling about it at the moment. I think it just depends on what they decide. If they get Jay Lou under contract, then I think there's a chance they're going to move on. Boom. Let's see. Don Q checking in saying Cowboys will look for cheap vets to plug in for 1-year deals. The defense will always be sucking neutral. And Don Q, man, you won't find many people that's going to disagree with you on this show. Yeah. The one thing I always preach about is the Cowboys pushing their chips all the way in. They have an opportunity now with the way the Dak's contract is structured to do that. Again, I still have a feeling they're going to make a pretty big signing on this defense. It's not going to be, and I told her, it's not going to be like 3-4 splashy guys, right? Mm-hmm. But instead of waiting until week 2 and 3, I think they're going to get some things done defensively here in week 1. Like I said, in the next 42 or 48 to 72 hours, I think they will get somebody in here where you'd be like, okay, that's something we normally don't do. Obviously, it won't be a Dalvin Tomlinson now, but I still think they're going to bring one of those kind of guys in here. They got the new defensive coordinator to fix this defense. I think they're going to give him a toy still. I still have firm belief in that.
Right.
Let's see. They will sign one somewhat of a big name of free agency. Who do you think? Outside, I'm gonna give a name. We haven't talked about him on the show today. I'm gonna throw a name out there. Spoody, you wanted him last year. He's very controversial in the Cowboys world because there was talks of maybe signing him last year and different things. Obviously, did not have a very good year over here with the Titans. Former number one overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, you know what, DJ? You know, I guess it's the beard. It has to be the beard thing. So, wait a minute. Brian Duble asked the question. That's Beard Gang, right? You answered it first, Beard Gang. I was thinking the same guy, Beard Gang. Wow, it's the beard. I'm gonna say this, and it's funny because I believe Bluff City, he had mentioned it also on Twitter the other day, and I was thinking the same thing. Listen, that would be a good look. That would be a nice rotational pass rush right there. I will be excited for Clowney. You know, Randy Gregory, D-Law. Listen, that would be exciting.
Absolutely. And of course, if you go back and look how Jadeveon played in the Seattle system, similar to the system we're going to run, he played much better. Right. He played much better in the Seattle system than he played in the Titans system. So, like I said, just keep a name and see. He's one of those guys where plenty left in the tank. The price possibly coming down after last year. You can see maybe a 1-year deal there with him, especially like they want to bring out, and especially they want to bring back Aldon Smith. If they're not able to bring back Aldon Smith, then they might say, you know what, we'll just take Jadeveon Clowney instead.
Right.
But now I do want to run this game. I ran this game on Twitter, and I'm gonna run this game here with you guys. Let me actually. I want to see everybody. And Spoonie, I'm gonna let you get in on the fun now. I'm gonna let you get in on the fun. All right. Let me set it up here. You get to pick one in free agency currently right now, guys. You get to pick one on each position. DT. You know what? How about this? I'll make it even funner. I'll do D line. D line, LB. CB and free safety. There we go. Let me get that set up real quick. Bear with me. Y'all know what it is on the fly when we live. All right. Let me throw it on up here for the people. All right. I want to see pick one from each position. Each position. You get one from D-line, one linebacker, one cornerback, one free safety. As we're currently sitting right now. Who do you want to see the Cowboys go after? You know, and again, Doc, as you just said, that great pass rusher, and he'll get you push. But again, not 10 million plus. But what we need somebody against the run, and that could be that mold. Let's look. Can we trade Jerry Jones or Kids Michael Mays? You might want to trade Steven. Maybe if Jerry was doing it, we might sign some people. This is all on Steven right here. Joshua Parker. I think we got 2 Joshua Parkers in here. What are the chances of that? Says, I don't want Aldon Smith back. Don't want Aldon Smith back. But, Tyron Trust me, grab that. Says Sheldon Rankins is the big name. Sheldon Rankins, hey, I mean, bring him in here. Let's see. But let me throw it back up there real quick, giving the people some time to think about it. All right, you're bringing one in on each level of the defense. D-line, defensive tackle, cornerback, free safety. Who's your Fab 4, if you will? Spoonie, you have your Fab 4 that you want here to bring in their free agency with what's left.
Yes. Okay. I apologize. It's not popular, but Sheldon Rankins is my D line.
Okay.
All right. Linebacker, I'm gonna go with Quan Alexander. Cornerback, I'm going with I'm tossing between William Jackson.
Okay.
At free safety, I'm gonna say this might be popular.
Yeah, shoot it out there. Who you want?
I'm going with Malik Hooker.
Okay, Malik Hooker.
Still draft the safety.
And still draft the safety, right? Yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys, no matter what we do, we're probably going to still draft. I think for me, I want Hankins at defensive tackle. All right. I think I want, and I'm going to balance my money here a little bit, okay? At linebacker, I'm going to go, man, and I thought about Quan Alexander earlier, man. I really did. But I'm going to go with my guy Mendoza. He's been beating the table. He got me to turn over the tape and look at him. I'm going to go Eric Wilson at the linebacker position.
Okay, good one.
I'm going to go Eric Wilson there. I'm going to go at cornerback. Man, I think the Cowboys liked him a lot the first round. I think I'm going to grab him. I don't think we're going to miss him the second time around. Let me go get a Dory Jackson. Okay. And then at free safety, man, can I please get Anthony Harris?
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of spend my money a little bit more on the back end with some good solid here in the front end.
Mhm.
But man, what I wouldn't give for some Anthony Harris to get in this mix. Let me scroll through and get somebody, since we got to build up now, and let me get some of these people's reactions to some of their four real quick. All right, so we're going to start with Tyron Church, Malik Hooker, Jonathan Hankins, Desmond King. I like King as well. Clowney, right? All right, here we go. My guy Ron's checking in. Sue, Jayon, Jackson, and Harris. My guy with the Harris. I'm with you, Jackson. Oh, Harris and Jackson. Let's go. Brandon Boyce just had 1 and 1 only. Said, man, bring me Melvin Ingram. 32 years old. We know what he did over there with the Chargers. My guy Brian's checking in, says Clowney, KJ Wright, Adoree Jackson, and Peterson. I like
that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that for.
My guy Stewart did this thing. Sue, Patrick Peterson, Wilson, Alexander.
Okay.
Alexander. Yeah, Church, I got you. Linebacker from the Raiders. Salazar, Malcolm Butler overrated. He had one good play. We need to get younger and not get older. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, whoever brought up Butler, I don't know. I didn't really bring him up. Parker's dream. Sheldon Rankins, KJ Wright, William Jackson, Malik Hooker. It's not going to happen, but oh well. Hey, but a man can Parker, a man can dream though, David, and that's what time of the year it is.
You never know.
And there it is. Mendoza, just give me about a few minutes ago. Anthony Harris, Desmond King, Danny Shelton, Devondre Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, my guy from Italy, checking in as always, man. We appreciate you, Joe. Says if you don't stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback, it doesn't matter how good your secondary is, we will not win games. And proof is in the pudding. You can't give. And I said this before. We gave up 155 yards per game last year on the ground. I don't care who your quarterback is. You're just not going to win many games in the NFL doing that. Hall with Sheldon, KJ, Jackson, and Harris. Joshua said he could see him going after Quan Alexander. All right, he'll be cheap, and he just stays hurt. Although he was healthy last year, the year before that, absolutely over there in San Francisco. Right. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Got two more here: Sue, Patrick Peterson, Harris, Alexander, and one more from Allen, Hankins, Clowney, KJ Wright, Jackson. He just went all in. I like that too. But here's the thing, and this is kind of why I wanted to, run it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys, Spoon.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's still quality guys. As I said earlier, again, we all know we all wanted Dalvin Tomlinson. That was the main number one guy. The top safeties that we wanted, they all been tagged. So basically, Tomlinson is the only thing that really got away from us. Other than that, this is going to be the Stephen Jones show. He's going to wait for things to settle down and not overpay a player. That's what he's known for. Can he still bring in good quality players? Of course he can. He's just not going to overpay him. And as the days are going by, they will get cheaper.
Right. And we do have, I got to look low key. We do have a Joshua Parker on Facebook, and we have a Joshua Parker on YouTube. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that?
I tell you right now, if Lotto was played by first and last name, Joshua Parker would be the name I play today.
Man, there you go. No doubt. But that's why I want to run the exercise. I did it on Twitter as well, just to kind of let Cowboys Nation know, like, hey, it's all good. There's still plenty of quality guys that we can go out here and sign to help this defense. Now, right. I'm with my guy Mendoza. If we sign 6 outside free agents, man, I'll be out of my mind too. I definitely don't think that's going to happen by right. any stretch of the imagination. But I think there's a chance of 3 to 4. And that's why I said, just give me one from each side. Let me see where people are at. And again, it's just back to the point of, man, there's people out here that are not scrap heaps, that are not 35, 36. Oh, they used to be good. We'll get, unequivocally, bridge guys. Like, some of these young guys can be bridges. But again, there's a lot of talent to be had out here. And for everyone just to kind of relax and let's let this thing play out a little bit before we completely lose it, And no, Stephen Jones' philosophy has not worked. Yeah. I'm tired of the vets coming in. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm absolutely with you, Don Q. But again, there's these guys that are out here right now that don't fit the typical, prototypical Stephen Jones mold that right. they can go out here and acquire to help this defense and help them immediately. I definitely do not agree with again, and if you're a long-time listener, Donkey, I don't think I've ever seen your name before. Shout out to you, man. I hope you hit that sub and notification button and stick with us. We're going to our 3rd year now. And, the biggest thing I've always said, there's 3 ways to acquire talent. Draft, okay, boom, right? Then there's trades, okay, boom. And then there's free agency. I don't care how great you are at drafting. If you decide to completely ignore 1/3 of the ways to acquire talent, you're just not going to be very good. Case in point, if you have a draft like the 2017 draft, guys, and you go back and look at that draft, and again, if Xavier Woods is to come back, Noah Brown's going to be the only guy from that draft that's still here. It's very hard for that cripples a team. It's hard for a team whenever they're going to just completely ignore free agency and attack it the right way. I don't need you to go out here and spend the most amount of money, but when things line up and you can address situations that you have missed on consistently, aka you haven't drafted a free safety or a safety period higher than the 4th round, which was J.J. Wilcox years ago, you're going to kind of have these problems. Hey, thank God Donovan Wilson, like he's going to pan out. He was a 6th round pick, but you have these kind of guys available in free agency. You have to get a little busy, especially with Dak giving you the from 37 to 22 million, right? The cap hit's only 22. He's right at 12% of the cap. He's giving you the ability to go out here and make things happen with this cap number. So you have to get active. So Don Q, I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you. Let me see what else we have here. There is. And I've tossed this around in my head. Rodney Hudson, the 31, I think, or 32. I think he's 31. All-pro center has been released. He's on the free agent market. And I'll let it kind of just go through my head a little bit, But you got to tell him about that you drafted last year. Looks like he's going to be very good. Man, I mean, are you mad if you go add a Rodney Hudson? Of course not. But then you got to say, when are we really going to start taking this defense serious? And for me, that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know.
And Tyler Badass, you don't want to slow down his growth either as well. So. Unless you want to put him try him at guard.
Right. And he did play some guard last year.
Yeah. So that's the only good thing.
Right. Let me kind of get through some more of these. Boom. Who do we need to sign in free agency that will make you comfortable drafting offense at 10? I kind of goes back to the 4 that I just talked about. I think you got to, for me, look, the number 1 needs on this defense are a 1-tech and a free safety. Neither one of those are available at 10. Now, you got to hold a cornerback, but are the second-round cornerbacks really that far off from the top 3 cornerbacks that we're talking about? So, for me, it would be nice to be able to trade back. I would love to go get the Joker. We're able to trade back, linebacker from Notre Dame. I've been Team Pitts forever, and I'm still going to be Team Pitts. Because I think that's the best available. If he makes it to 10, there's not going to be a player better on the board than Pitts. But yeah, man, we got to go do something. We got to go get busy with 1 second free safety for sure, and I think they will. Right, and Salazar there. If we were able to get a Dory Jackson in the building, no reason to go cornerback first round. I agree.
Listen, you want to get comfortable as possible. That you're good to take the BPA. In order to do that, you got to flip all the spots. You got to have guys from free agency who you can feel comfortable starting, like a Dory Jackson or William Jackson or Kevin King at corner. If you have one of those guys, and remember, you still got Robinson. You still have Robinson. So when you do that, it'll make you feel comfortable to say, you know what, I'll take a Kyle Pitts. I'll trade back and get me a linebacker because you have that cornerback ready. I'm held down. Then go in the second round, get somebody else.
Right.
That's all you need to do.
Right. And Waddle. Waddle's got that explosive. You can't coach speed in Waddle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Brian, for me, cornerback, but Pitts there. I'm taking Pitts, Brian. I just don't know how you can do that. My brother from Northern McHale's in the building says, really got enough money right now for draft picks. Dallas has to take money into the season, which is true. But we know also they can pull a couple of triggers, swipe a couple of pins, at any point in time, create money to go out here and sign whoever they want to. So that's not really a big issue. And honestly, the New England Patriots have done all these signings, all these crazy signings. They had $53 million in cap space. They've done all these signings. Within a couple of picks, within a couple of moves, the Cowboys could easily get to them their $40 million. So if they want to go get busy, they can. They don't have to go crazy though to go out here and get a couple of guys on this defense to help them out. Let's see. Boom. Do. And there another good point with King and Adoree Jackson. Return ability. You know.
Yes.
No, you're not going to touch Jalen. You're going to touch D-Law. You're going to touch. I mean, no, you don't have to restructure Zeke or Jalen if you don't want to. You can touch it. You can touch Amari and D-Law. So there's definitely definitely a couple you can do. And look, they love Zeke. I don't think Zeke's going to be anywhere. You might as well just go and get the money and make the move. So that's how I feel when it comes to Zeke on that standpoint. But yeah, I mean, again, it's still, you know, it's early in this thing. We're seeing players move. You know, again, at least we're not one of the 8 teams that haven't made a move yet. And say it again for the people in the back. We got us a Pro Bowler, Spoon.
Yeah. Like I said, we haven't signed splashy players. We haven't, but we signed good depth that we needed. Again, I understand the Patriots right now. They're the king of the crop in the NFL as far as the free agency. They're signing guys left and right, but the bodies that they're signing is not something that we needed. We needed Dalvin Tomlinson, who went to Minnesota late last night. You know, that's what put me to bed. It's over with. I'm going to sleep now. And that just sips now. But you still got quality guys that you can still go out there and get. And that's just it. As far as safety, who was the highest paid safety so far? It was John Brown. He went to the Browns, right?
Right.
That was it.
Not John Brown. Johnson.
Oh yeah, John Johnson. Excuse me. He went to the Browns on a 3-year deal. So that was the other guys got tagged. So right now you got Harris, you got Malik Hooker, you got Keanu Neal, you got Quasi, and I think we're gonna land one of those 2 guys by tonight.
Oh,
by tonight. One of those 2 by tonight. I have a feeling.
Wow, by tonight.
Right.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to jump in and say it. I found out that McCarthy wasn't at the Dak signing. Is he on the hot seat? I mean, I'm not going to read too much of him about not being at the press conference. But what we do know is this: he's got 3 years left. They re-signed Kellen Moore to a 3-year deal. I mean, Dak's deal's kind of a 3-year deal. They can rip it up after 3 years if they want to. I mean, there's a lot of things saying that McCarthy, you know, we're not going to call it the hot seat, but hey, depending on what happens over the next couple of years, it is what it is. I mean, it's a results-oriented business. He was brought in here to get the Cowboys over the hump of where we were at with Jason Garrett, and the contracts and what's going on definitely aligns with that thought process, if you're paying attention to that. Now that, as we talked about earlier, Andy Dalton, $10 million to go to the Bears. What do we do, a backup quarterback? You know, hey, man, I liked what Double G did last year against the Steelers. I think he should definitely get an opportunity to win it. I think you're going to probably bring in another arm for sure. Ben DiNucci, another year in the program, was not ready last year. Do they draft a guy? Possibly. You know, a guy I would like to see, but he got big money to go for a wink backup. Tyrod Taylor up to $12.5 million in Houston. I wouldn't mind seeing Tyrod Taylor here as a backup. So I think for now, yeah, Gary Gilbert's there. I don't know if they bring a guy in or not, or if they draft a guy. I think they're definitely going to bring some competition in, but I think I'm okay with Gilbert last year if he's able to progress through training camp, OTA's training camp, and show that growth within the system. Spoonie?
Well, I'll give you a guy right now on spite. I just want to do it just for spite. On spite.
Okay.
I'll take Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby? I mean, Jacoby's solid. I wouldn't be mad at Jacoby.
As a backup, because I know the Eagles
win you some games. Yeah.
Because the Eagles won them. That's the only. Okay. I just want to be spiteful this one time.
And George Jenkins is off the board, which is fine. I didn't want no parts of George Jenkins anyways. But obviously, he's going to, they lost Butler, they lost Adoree. So, boom, he's going to go over there and help them be a bridge gap, if you will, for the Titans, as they're probably going to draft them a young guy for sure. Let me kind of scroll down here, get a couple more. We got a few more minutes. Look, Jack, and I'll tell you this much. I don't think Steven wants to touch any contracts that we're really talking about. He loves his precious cap space. I mean, I'll be honest, but at a certain point, they got to push the chips in the middle of the table. They missed the opportunity during Dak's rookie deal to really go out here and be aggressive. Well, you got 3 years now, way this contract is structured, for them to go out here and be aggressive. And we'll just have to wait and see, man. We'll definitely have to wait and see where it goes there. We must have a Hook'em Horns fan in here. He says, Sam Ehlinger. I'll tell you what Sam did for me. He looked better I was really surprised. I want to say completely looked just much better the whole time in Texas. But I'll tell you what, I think he did himself a lot of good at the Senior Bowl. I think Sam was playing for the right to possibly get drafted late, and I think he did well enough to do that. I did like what Sam did at the Senior Bowl, for sure.
I apologize. I'm late on there.
Oh, Jacoby. Yeah, Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. Hey, I'm happy. I'm so happy for him. He's
Yeah.
not in the East.
Yeah, good backup for them, right? Good backup for them, right? If they're going to roll with Tua, or even if maybe they make a trade and make a splash and go get Deshaun Watson. Who knows? So Brissett off the board, and you don't have to worry about him over there in Philly now. Makes you feel better, Spoon.
It made me feel better. I just want to take over this division anyway. That's just it. It just not getting started.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, with that being said, man, we just want to kind of come in, chop it up with you guys. Always Wednesdays, the Cowboys report delivered by me, Mariella, and Spoonie at 8 p.m. Central. We'll be back on live tomorrow. But, man, we just want to kind of touch base, talk about what's going on in free agency so far, do some things, and, hey, let it be known that there's guys available still. Hall with the sneaky. I'm not mad at that. Hall. No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Alex Smith in the backup role.
That'd be awesome.
I am definitely not mad at that.
No, not at
all. I mean, we would hope so, Rick. Rick, we really hope so. For everyone that tuned in over here on the YouTube, though, man, make sure you hit that sub, hit that notifications button, man, so you don't miss anything else from us. If you're on, also you can jump on the Facebook. We've got a group on the page. Join the group, follow the page, and vice versa. Do it back and forth. Hey, if you're on Twitter, you're not following your guy yet. Right there, as it says on the bottom of the screen, your_guy_Knicks. Man, I finally made it. I'm over 800 followers. I'm making it there. My guy Spoonie's over there on Twitter as well. Spoonie881. Make sure you go follow him too. And we'll definitely catch y'all tomorrow. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Cowboys report and maybe some more stuff to talk about. And, of course, if you got the notifications on, if something pops, something happens, boy, expect us. We'll be jumping on this thing ASAP to talk about it, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Last year, we was on pretty late a lot of occasions, so
it was a lot of late night creeping. It was a lot of late night creeping last week.
Late night creeping, so I'm expecting it.
Yeah, hopefully.